This evening, we are privileged to have a special guest come and speak to us and witness to us. And Coach Stallings, it is such a blessing to have you here tonight and being with us and to hear your word in a few moments. Coach Stallings is a local boy, I guess, local man, local guy. I don't know what the right word would be, but he's local. Born in Paris, played football at Texas A&M. Whoop, whoop, yeah, there we go. I knew that was coming. There we go. Then began really an illustrious coaching career at Alabama. Run a couple of national championships there, Texas A&M with the Dallas Cowboys with Coach Landry, and won Super Bowl 12. Coached with the St. Louis Cardinals with the University of Alabama. Again, as head coach, has a number of championships to his name, a national championship in 1992, a Southwest championship, a SEC championship, 4 SEC Western Division championships. My goodness gracious, all these championships is wonderful. But just an illustrious career in the football field, but he is so much bigger than that and so much broader than that. He has served in a number of capacities in our nation and in our community on a number of boards, a number of agencies. He's been on President Bush's Commission on Intellectual Disability, been on the board of Abilene Christian, on the board of Regents for Texas A&M, serves on a number of boards in his local community in Paris, including the Regional Medical Center and the Boys and Girls Club. Has been the distinguished alumnus, Texas A&M, of the Legends Award and the All Sports Association in Dallas, the National Boys Club, the Dallas Father of the Years, the Lions Alabama Club, Football Hall of Fame in Alabama and in Texas, and Texas A&M, the Gator Bowl Hall of Fame. So many ways he has just really had a brilliant coaching career. And yet at the same time, as he comes tonight, he also shares the love of a father of a child with disabilities, John Mark, and he authored a book in that regard entitled Another Season, and spoke about that great love. And I know that's, God's love is there in the midst of that. As he comes tonight, Coach, we welcome you because we love football. And more than that, we all love the Lord, and we know you do too. And so it's in that faith and in that joy. Thank you for coming tonight so much.
Thank you. I'm always a little bit amused every time I'm introduced. Truth of the matter is, if you want to get right down to the nitty-gritty, I was the youngest head football coach in the nation, age 29. I was youngest fired when age 35. So I've been in the penthouse and I've been in the outhouse. Brady, it's good to see you, and Dr. Manziel, good to see you, and Joanne. What a joy it is to see all you people from Paris. Van, people in Paris, and Don McCaskill, people in Paris are very proud to have Van as one of our ministers. He's one of what you call one of those good guys. You go to the hospital and here's who you run into. What a joy it is for me to call him one of my friends. I'm a little bit sad. When you mention John Mark, 2 saddest days of my life, no question about that. June the 11th, 1962, expecting that baby, and all of a sudden the doctor tells me that boy's a mongoloid. They don't even use that word anymore. August the 2nd, 2008. Now my complaining days are over. You people complain all you want to about whatever you want to complain about. I knew something was wrong with Johnny. I've got a monitor. I can hear him in his bedroom. I go and get in bed with him. Those of us that have children, we can tell when something's wrong with our children. I get in bed with Johnny. He's fretful. I check his oxygen saturation. I don't know if you know when you go to the hospital and put the little thing on your finger, checking your oxygen saturation. Everybody's in the 90s. Everybody is. If you fall below 90, you're ready for ICU. I checked Johnny. He was 63. I said, Johnny, how do you feel? He said, I'm fine. I'm fine. Passed away the next morning. See, here's a little child that literally couldn't count to 10. I'd give him pills every night, and one of them was a big old pill, and I'd say, Johnny, you got to count to 10 to get his mind off that pill, and he just couldn't do it. But you know, he's had songs written about him. He's had books written about him. He's the only guy that appeared in the National Football League commercial for United Way for 2 years. As long as they play football at the University of Alabama, the equipment room is named the John Mark Stallings Equipment Room. The beautiful playground for the handicapped child in Hartselle, Alabama is named the John Mark Stallings Playground. The beautiful RISE program, the playground there is named the John Mark Stallings Playground. Abilene Christian University, just a few years ago, picked 5 people that they felt like had literally helped change the world. You know, Johnny was one of those 5. Faulkner University, just not long ago, named their football playing field the John Mark Stallings playing field. Texas A&M, where I'm a graduate of. 50th reunion, you give something back. We raised $250,000 in a matter of just a few minutes. Endowed a medical scholarship. Some young man, some young lady goes to Texas A&M, studies medicine. The John Mark Stallings Medical Scholarship. He's a Harris Fellow. And just the other day on the campus of the University of Alabama, they named a street the Johnny Stallings Drive. Here's a youngster. When Johnny passed away, his mother and I received over 1,500 letters, not notes, letters, from people all over the United States. The governor of Alabama sent an Alabama State Trooper car to Paris, Texas, to lead the funeral procession. The governor of Texas was there the night before. He saw that Alabama State Trooper car. He said, what's that doing here? 5 Texas State Trooper cars in Johnny's funeral procession. People on both sides of the street, the highway, stopped, got out of their car, paid respect to a little child with Down syndrome. You know, we could learn a little something from Johnny. It didn't make any difference whether you were the CEO or the janitor. He treated you with the same amount of respect and dignity. You know how important it is, and I say all this about Johnny because he loved going to church. Sat beside Charlie Parkman. Every Sunday, he had to sit beside Charlie Parkman. That's just where he sat. And he didn't care whether his old daddy's there or not, but that's... You know how important it is to show just a little act of kindness, just a little bit. Johnny has always loved to go to church. I'm coaching the St. Louis Cardinals. Johnny didn't like to go to church in St. Louis. He would hold on to his mother's skirt. He just wasn't comfortable. And then one Sunday, a lady said, Johnny, there's a table down there. I think I see a present on that table, has your name on it. And old Johnny sort of lit up. He sort of goes down. Wasn't any big deal. Teddy bear, something, wasn't much. But now all of a sudden, he liked that a little bit better. The next Sunday, a lady says, Johnny, I think I see a present down here. It's got your name on it. See, it's just a little act of kindness. That lady who I never knew who did that showed a little act of kindness to a little child with Down syndrome, made all the difference in the world to little Johnny. So see, just every once in a while. You know, Mother Teresa said it this way: two kinds of people, those that need help and those that help those that need help. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes just a few years ago had a slogan that went something like this: we really need each other. You know, I don't think there's ever been a time in our history where a Christian needs a Christian more so than right now. And their slogan was, we really need each other. You know what's happening in the United States right now? Probably don't have a clue. I want to tell you what's happening. Over 10 million alcoholics in the United States. Every day in the United States, 6,000 new teenage alcoholics. 1 out of 9, 11% of all the high school youngsters in the United States, daily user of a marijuana cigarette. You know what's slipping into our high schools? Cocaine. You don't have a clue how strong cocaine is. Every day in the United States, every day, 11 teenagers commit suicide. You know how many attempted? Over 1 million. We've got over 1 million teenagers every year attempt suicide. You know how many kids run away from home? United States just run away from home? Over 1 million. Average age, 14. We spend more money in the United States on illegal drugs than we do on imported oil. If we don't change, somewhere along the line, if we don't change, you take all the 14-year-old girls right now, the time they're 19, 40% of them will have become pregnant. Now, I'm saying all that to say this. Typical daddy in the United States. I know nobody in here is typical. You never run across, but if you ever run across a typical daddy, he works 40 hours a week, sleeps 50 hours a week, spends 9 hours a week grooming himself, getting ready to go somewhere, and 2.5 minutes a day with his child. See, somewhere along the line, there are people out there that need some help. So it's a situation that we just really sort of let slip by us. My favorite biblical verse. Everybody, I go down the row and say, what is your favorite biblical verse? I'm going to tell you what mine is. It's in 3 John, and it says this: I have no greater joy than to know that my children are walking in the truth. How can it get any better than that? I have no greater joy than to know that my children